Welcome back. After a while
Hello.
of technical issues, we will have our third try to something new. How are you, Hanne, to start with?
Yeah. Yes, I'm fine. A little bit exhausted because, as you mentioned, it's take 3 of this video, so it will be very spontaneous.
We're such noobs. No, we recorded this twice already and the sound didn't work. And we wanted to try something new because we still finished the first series. You still didn't receive your Carbonite booster.
Because I won 5-2.
Yes.
Mention it.
Yes, you won. And now we wanted to try something else. We wanted to make a tier list.
Yes.
Because tier lists
And
are
a special
fun.
one. Yes.
Because tier lists are fun, and we thought about what should we try, and we decided to rank all the what do you call it? Unique ships from Jump to Lightspeed.
Yes, because I like shiny cards so much.
Because you like shiny cards. Because the set has only been out for some time.
Yes, and everyone is talking about set 5, yeah. So we're coming with set 4. Yeah, that's great.
People are not decided on how great Prestige or the unique ships are, so why not talk about them? No, I still think it's a fun list to do, even though the set has been out. And yeah, we wanted to try this, so maybe for set 5 we'll do something similar, but a little bit earlier maybe. So, 36 cards, 36 unique ships. Maybe I can start how I went about the list. So when I wanted to do the list, I first of all put all the heroism ships above the villainy ships, of course, right? No.
Because you're a little fanboy about the heroism.
I'm a little heroism fanboy. No, I think the main argument for me was, are cards, or do cards work, or are they important and good in multiple decks? First of all, are they any good in any of the decks? And then second, I think, are they good in multiple decks, or do they just shine, or are they just strong in one deck? Which for me would downgrade them to a large extent.
Yeah, but not every card, as we will see. Because there are some cards that we will maybe put in A tier or even S tier that are not valuable options in many tiers, in many decks. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess so. There's especially one I can think of right now that maybe should go lower than we put it.
Because you just don't like it, because you always lose with your Yoda against this deck.
I mean, that's just one reason, but it is. But we'll talk about it when we come to the card. But it is just strong in one deck, though. It is a very strong card in this deck, but it is just strong in that deck. So probably we should rank it lower. But I mean, whatever. Shall we start?
Yes, and perhaps how I will go about this. Firstly, when we wanted to take the video, I thought about making it spontaneous, just do what I think and just tell that. But right now, because it's the third take, I have made several thoughts about every card, so it's not the same procedure for me, but I hope it will be okay.
I still have all the ships that I, during the recording of the other videos, admitted that I put them like too high or too low. I still have them in the original spot though. So I'm gonna defend them until you tell them it's wrong or something.
Yes, so shall we begin?
Sure.
Will you start?
No, you can start with the Banshee. I don't like the Banshee. I have the Banshee way off, I think.
Yeah, I think I have it also in C tier list because, as you mentioned before, I don't see many decks you can play it with. Sure, it's a separatist card, so you maybe can play it with Dooku, but for Dooku I think you have several better options at 5, like the Techno Park ship, the yellow one perhaps. And also you can play it maybe with Asajj, with the new one. I played her quite a bit, but then in the end I decided that I don't want to play Banshee because you have the Corvus that I think is better for the Asajj deck. So in my opinion, you don't have many options for the Banshee to put in any deck. That's because I rated it mid-C.
I have it a little higher. I don't know, but I probably have this one game in my mind. I think it was Kira. You give it two damage in the shield, and if that thing gets a shield, and of course the situation has to be right, it destroyed all of my ships. Just attacking base, right? I have a little higher. It's what? It's a 4, 5, 4 what? For 5? Is that correct?
For 5. Yes. Yes.
I mean, I can go with the argument that there are other ships that are better, especially the Corvus. But I think it's not bad. But let's put it on high C for now. I guess I can agree with that.
Yes, we will move it down when we talk about other cards. So, next card on the list is the Corvus.
The Corvus already? Let me pull it up quickly. So, restore 2, 5, 4, 5 as well, and you can play around with pilots a little bit. I think indeed it's much better. It's better than the Banshee. I have it at mid B, mid to high B. I think the restore 2 is great. It doesn't do anything when it comes down, right? Except for like doing the pilot shenanigans. Yeah. If there's a sentinel maybe on the ground or whatever, you can move him to space. You can make this a bigger unit. But I think for me, and I like the restore mechanics. I like restoring. I have him at high B, mid high B. I like it.
Yes,
it's okay.
Yes, I have it at the second highest B, because as you mentioned, I think the restore 2 is nice. It's a 4/5. You have an immediate effect when you play it. You can put pilot standard units on it. You can put leader units on it, and I think the main option for me that I ranked it at B tier is because you are so flexible, because when you realize you don't want to be on the ground anymore, you can put the pilot that you maybe have on the ground on the ship and shift the mechanic to strongness to the space arena, and so he has to do something against it, and it's still a capital ship, so you maybe can even play it with Piet.
I agree. I don't think. I mean, maybe I played not enough villainy pilots to like really understand it, but I don't think it does something when it comes down, right? I mean, yeah, you can like move the focus of the battlefield, but it doesn't destroy anything or damage anything. But yeah, I think it's versatile and flexible when you have pilots, but you probably want to put that in some, like you said, Asajj.
Yeah, exactly. For Asajj, it's great. It was mainly not the MVP card in my Asajj deck, but when I had the Corvus in my hand, I nearly played it always in every game, and not even only for 5 resources, even though also when I put Asajj out on the ground and then played it when the 6 resource turn was underway and put Asajj on the ship. So you had nice options.
I agree.
Next card, the Chimaera. So it's my turn. I think it's a tough one because you have the option to play it, sure, in Thrawn, maybe in Piet because it's a capital ship, but it's for 6 a 5/6. The when played effect with Piet is, in my opinion, not strong. So the only valuable option or deck to play the Chimaera with is Thrawn. In Thrawn, it can be very strong, in my opinion. But other than that, you have, as said before, with other cards, you have better options. So for me, it's a low B tier.
I agree. I have it at low B as well. The when defeated sometimes makes me think, would it work with Palpatine? But Palpatine doesn't have that many when defeated ability cards in there, right? So when defeated, create 2 TIE fighters is, I guess, not bad. But yeah, it's a Thrawn card, right? It goes pretty much only in Thrawn, but it's pretty strong in Thrawn. You have to have another when defeated card out there, I guess. That's true. But if you do, it can be very, very strong, very flexible and versatile. You can do whatever you have on the field ×2 when defeated. So I like it. I have it at low B as well, lower than the Corvus, which is the only important.
But I would rather play, I think, sure it's situational, but let's say you play Throne Red, I would rather play, I think, a Ruthless Raider at 6 than a Chimaera, but yeah, it really depends.
Yeah, it's tough because I had this situation in our game, and it's like, do I want the Chimaera on the next turn to then like trigger the Ruthless Raider and do the 4 damage with Thrawn, or do I want to play this first and like trigger a platform dude where I can make 6 indirect damage? I mean, it's you have decisions to make. I mean, either ways are fine, and I like it, but it's strong only in Thrawn, I guess.
Yeah. So I put it below the Corvus right now.
Sure.
Oh, the Annihilator. I'm not able to pronounce this card. So you can start.
So I have this. I compared this with basically the other 12-tail 411, the Executor, and I guess it doesn't get that much played, but I still have it in A tier. I don't know if you're gonna agree, but basically because when you put it down, you get the effect that you want to. You get rid of all the whatever you want, all the looks, all the whatever card you don't want to see if they don't have some kind of getting cards back of the discard. And yes, of course, you have to get to 11 resources, but compared to the tie creation mechanic of the other one, this one is playable in hard control. And I think I'm kind of biased because it made its way into this weird Yoda deck with Data Vault. And I mean, I just feel like if you get it down, you get an immediate effect like other ships as well. And you have to get rid of it, right? So I think it's at least playable, and I think it's strong, but probably because it doesn't get played that much, it's maybe not an A, but I have it at the lowest A for now.
I can't agree that much because I have it in mid B. I think it's just too expensive for 11 resources. Sure, if you play hard control, it's fun, but you have at 9 resources, you have the Avenger that, in my opinion, is stronger because you can play it 3 turns earlier. Sure, the effect is very nice and it can change quite a bit, but it's also very fragile. Let's say against the hard control or the removal stuff like No Glory, Only Results, but also Fell Off the Dragon. So you play 11, sure. He doesn't have any, let's say, looks anymore, but then he can play a Fell Off the Dragon for 4 and still has 6 resources. So I think it's just too expensive, especially when we look at the meta right now. And I think the meta is changing a little bit to mid-range decks. So for me, it's just too late for 11 resources. But as you said, it's better than the other big ship of the villainy that we will come to later. So in my opinion, or I have it only at mid B.
Do you have it above or below the Corvus?
But what the question below?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I can. I mean, I see that the Corvus is more useful in many more situations. But I guess you have to play it when you know that the opponent doesn't have Fell in hand, or the chances are pretty small. If you play this right, I feel like it can do so much, especially against the mid-rangey decks, right? If you put that down and they don't have an answer, it just game over. But I mean, I guess you can put it below the Corvus because the Corvus sees more play and is, just like half the price, and half the price cards usually do see more play.
Yeah.
Sure, whatever.
So the next one, you can tell if we disagree. So, Phantom 3.
It's still the Phantom 2.
2, 3. Yes, as you may know, right now I'm not very good with names and the cards. I just like the game, and I know what they do, but I can't tell the names right.
So Phantom 2, I think it's a fun card. It's thematic. You can put it on the Ghost or any Ghost. They get grid. If you put it on the new Ghost, it gets Sentinel as well. It's a 3/3 for 3, which is, I guess, okay, but there are better options for that. If you talk about, I mean, we will talk about the Victor leader, we'll talk about the blue leader, we'll talk about Vonreg's TIE Interceptor and so on, Mist Hunter. I mean, it's not bad. I think grid on 3/3 cards is usually like, is it ever gonna work? I mean, maybe you can damage it yourself or something, and then, or you put it on the Ghost, which can like eat more damage, and then really it gets grid, and that does something. I have it in C tier. I mean, I like the mechanic, I like the thematic touch on it. Put him on the Ghost and whatever. But I have it at mid C. It's just there's just so many better options for 3. But I mean, if you need to go or want to go all space and you're missing a 3 drop, you can put that in your deck and it's fine. But it's not gonna. I think you're gonna resource it quite often because it's not gonna be the important card that you're looking for.
Oh.
So C tier for me.
Yeah, for me as well, and I can agree with everything. And I think you have better options as the Phantom 2 for 3 vigilance, heroism, like the, how is it called, the red leader? No, the one you can draw a card if you damage it.
Some X-wing, is it Red Squadron X-wing?
Yeah, I don't know. So I would rather put this one in my deck if I need a 3-cost chip, and that's why I have it right below the Banshee in mid C tier.
I can agree, below the Banshee for now.
Right. So the next one is the Ghost. I think, yeah, it looks good. I think it's playable even if you don't play Spectre or Hera, but you will mainly play it in a Hera deck, I think. And it's a 5/6 for 5. That's nice, but you don't have an immediate effect if you don't have Spectre units in your deck. So it's for me playable, but not as strong as, let's say, the Orbis ship, because it's also 5 for 5, but you have an immediate effect, and that's why I put it on low B.
I have it on the lowest B as well. I like the unit. I like it especially, of course, in Spectre decks. But as you said, you can also, if you really want a 5/6, and you have ways either with the R2 or with Experience or Shield to make it a Sentinel, and you really want this 5/6 space Sentinel, you can make it work in any deck, I guess. I mean, it's not gonna work every time, but I like it. I like you said. I mean, I like the 5/6 for 5 better than the old Ghost for 6. I mean, I like the shield mechanic or ability is great, of course, but it's never gonna work. I mean, it's a slow unit. You put him down for 6. This one is already there for 5. So I mean, at lowest B as well, but I like it. But it's difficult to play still, I guess. Gold leader, that's a tough one because it's a Millennium Falcon, and I like Millennium Falcons.
And he sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bad one, right? It's 5/5 for 6 already is like meh. Shielded, sure, whatever. But then the wildest unit is defending, the attacker gets -1, -0. It's just like somehow it's never gonna happen. Nobody's gonna attack this, especially with a shield. I mean, maybe if you put like 5 pilots on it, which is not possible, or you put like, I don't know, you give it some kind of upgrades or whatever. But 6 is just late, and when you really want to get rid of it, you just take down it or fell it. Both work. I have it at low C. I don't think I've ever seen it being played. It just doesn't do anything. It's tough.
And this has to mean something if Etienne puts this on low C, even though it's a Millennium Falcon. So I think I don't have to add anything. It's, in my opinion, just.
I mean, you can't even. I mean, of course, you can ECL it out, but it doesn't. You know, the ability doesn't work. Of course, you don't. You just lose the shield. That can be fun, but it's a tough one.
you want to use, sure, maybe it's situational and you want to use ECL for a 6 cost space unit that only does 5 damage. I don't know.
Yep. Your turn, Silver Angel.
And right now, the Silver Angel. Yeah. Again, it's a blue Vigilance card for 2/3. And I think you have better options in villainy decks, also in heroism deck, like the restored arc, or the, how is it called when you can draw 2 cards?
Oh, the
Villainy
Inferno 4.
1 for 2. Inferno 4, you will rather play this one than the Silver Angel, so it's for me a low C. And I never saw it played.
I agree. I mean, 2/3 for 2 is not bad, right? I mean, you can put it in Obi or the Tico deck, of course. Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna work? I don't know. But I think it's similar to the Phantom. I have it at the lowest tier as well. If you really want to like have a strategy all space and you really want this 2-drop space unit, I mean, why not put it in there? It's, you have a lot of 2/3s for 2. And if you really heal at some point, because you are actually playing Obi and there's not that many 2-drops that kill your
Maybe.
ships if you attack, you can heal it away and then deal the damage. I think on paper it looks alright, but it's never being played. I don't think it's that valuable tactic to go this way, but
But as you mentioned, I think it can be nice in a Obi deck, let's say against a Vader pilot deck, because you can all ping all the one health ships and you still live. That's maybe an option, but it's so situational, and yeah, I still think the restored arc is also better in this deck.
I mean, you can ECL it out. You can ECL it out, and then it does somehow the the black one.
I don't think you want to ECL a Silver Angel out.
Just to make sure you control what damage goes on it, and you play Obi, you heal, and then you ping. It takes 2 action, and you have some kind of black one, having used ECL. I mean, I agree. Low C.
Yeah, it's a great. I think we have talked too much about the Silver Angel.
That's just mean.
So, but right now, it comes to the Victor Leader, and that's the one, surely, that we mentioned at the beginning, that sure, you can only use it, or it is only used in a Vader deck, but it makes the Vader deck so much better if you can put the Victor Leader out at 3, because with all the TIE fighters and all the other ship, maybe it's just a pain to get rid of. Sure, me as a mace player, let's say, it's great because you have the open fire that you can just destroy the Victor Leader, and I think it's a good trade. But other than that, you don't have that many options to get rid at the Victor Leader at 3 resources, because most of the 2-drop ships only deal 3 damage at the most. So it still lives, and it's just a pain to get rid of, and it makes, as mentioned before, the Vader deck so much better. That's why I put it on high A, even though you can only play it as Vader, let's say.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we will see him in other decks as well, as we get more like space leaders maybe. And the annoying thing about this card is, 2/4 doesn't look that bad. Yes, like you said, it sucks to get rid of it, because especially in the Vader deck, you don't want to take down the turn later, because like paying 4 to get rid of a 3-cost unit just feels bad. But the 2 attack, if you look at it, it's like, oh, it's just attacking for 2. If you don't have 5 other space units out, it's not that bad, right? It's just like, yeah, sure, let's keep it there. But I mean, and we all know what the Vader yellow deck does, and it all sucks and it's all bad. So it's such a annoying unit. I never know how to get rid of it. It's like, I mean, of course, playing Yoda blue or Yoda red or green. Takedown is like the obvious answer, but takedown just is it feels so bad.
So
to play.
expensive, and
Yeah.
it's too late actually. If
No.
you play it at 4 resources, the damage the victor leader also already made is probably too much to change the course of the game.
I agree,
so you have
high
it
A.
also on A.
Yeah.
Right.
But like you said, I mean, I think we will see it in other villainy space heavy decks as well. But right now it's very, very, very prominent in just Vader Yellow, right? And not many other decks. So Invisible Hand. I have the Invisible Hand in mid B, but I think I'm biased because it's a 6/6 for 6, and I kind of like 6/6s for 6. I don't know why. Maybe because of Triple Dark Raid, which is not around anymore. I don't know. I played this card in my Pier deck, and yes, of course, you have to put some droids in there, which is probably not the best idea for a Pier deck, but it sometimes it works. I kind of like it. I like it better than the other 6/6 for 6, which is the Invincible. I like it. You can take a droid out. I don't know if the deck is bad or we just haven't seen it yet, but the Vulture droid deck, I still feel like that deck can be fun to like play this and then take a droid out, play it for free. I don't know. I have it at mid B, below the Corvus. I like it. I don't know.
Yeah, I have it at high C, and because what you mentioned about the Triple Dark Raid, I think this ship suffered a lot of the Triple Dark Raid ban. Because it's just too expensive. The when played effect is nice, let's say if you play Dooku, because then you will have many droids most likely in your deck, and also Sentinel droids that can be annoying, so it's good to stop the enemy a little bit. But other than that, it's so expensive. And that's why I don't see it played anymore that much. Sure, 6/6 is a tough one. When it's out, you have to get rid of because it can deal a lot of damage. Even because it's also a capital ship, you can maybe play it with, if you play it with aggression, you play it with planetary bombardment, and then it will be tough to get rid of. But yeah, still it's so situational. I play it with, let's say, Dooku, but other than that, not for me a valuable option. So I have it on high C.
So what do we have? We have the Banshee and the Ghost. I think the question is it better or worse than the Ghost?
I
5/6 or
better.
5. Do you think the Ghost is better?
Yes, the Ghost is better.
Yeah, I guess let's put it at high C. I think it's better than the Banshee though.
Yeah, I can agree on that.
Yeah.
Here we go. And now the other 11 cost ship, the Executor. And yeah, as you mentioned before, I think it's way worse than the other ship that I can't pronounce, Annihilator.
I think that's exactly how we pronounce it.
Thank you very much. I did my best. I don't think you want 3 TIE Fighter tokens at 11 resources. I don't think you want some ping damage that you can end the game if you play such a big ship, because you maybe control it. But yeah, I don't see how you want to have the when played on attack, the when defeated effect. It's just way too late to have additional 3 TIE Fighter tokens. 12/12 is nice, but yeah, it's, as mentioned before, it's worse than the other one, so I have it on the lowest.
I agree. I was just thinking right now if we actually could play it in, put it in D. I mean, nobody plays this, right? It's like, and if you have a deck, where you need capital ships, there with set 4 now, enough other options, right? You're not in the situation where like I need 2 more capital ships in my deck because I'm playing Pied and I want to just. There are better options nowadays. So D or C? No, I guess C is fine, but
Ah, but actually I think D is fine. Even if you want such a big ship for 11,
yeah,
you
I
will
agree.
play the other one. So
I mean, it's green,
come.
but I mean, you have enough green. The Devastator is much better, right? How much is the Devastator? 10?
Yeah, yeah. And because
10 or 11? 10, right?
yes, yes,
I mean, maybe you're
yeah.
playing double green and you really you really want six different
No,
capital ships in there,
no,
and then
no. It's just a D. Or as we are all know, we are now big YouTubers. So let us all know in the comments what you
I
think
guess it's a good
about
one.
the Executor.
Do you
So
know what's next? Yeah,
is it
sure.
okay, D?
I know what. Do you know what's next? Yes.
Ooh. Now it's getting interesting.
So this has always been my favorite card of the set.
Let me tell you a story. When the set came out and I played some green command heroism quite a bit, I always said to it, "Oh, the blue leader is so great," and he just told me, "I don't see why you should play it. I don't see the mechanics or the effect and how is it good." Yeah, but right now I think he grew up a little bit, and I think you also now see that the blue leader is, in my opinion, one of the best cards in the new set. Because is it my turn? Yeah,
It
it doesn't
it's
matter.
not, but it's all good. I give it
It's
to
all
you.
good because it's so versatile. Because you can play it at 3, you can play it at 5. You still have an immediate effect with ambush. Yeah, and also against discard decks, you don't only need a, let's say, a blue leader, because you can also play it at 5 resources. And even though you play it at 3, it's a great option to get rid of the many 2-drop ships, and still lives. Let's say the A-wing, the restored arc or whatever. Yeah, it's, in my opinion, it's the best card, and so I have it on the highest S tier list.
So you have it as your top card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything. It's great. Yeah, I feel, and I didn't play it in the beginning that much. I don't know, but every time you play it now, it just feels like you are evening out the game a little bit, or like advancing your lead. It always feels like this does something for me. It's great. 3/3 ambush for 3 is great, and the 5/5 for 5 on the ground is also great. And the ambush
It's
in
just
space
great.
and then put it on the ground. I mean, it doesn't work that often, but it's great as well.
Then again, it's a rebel ship, so
Oh.
you can use it, let's say, in Sabine, in Leia, or whatever. Yeah, I think as mentioned, it's the best ship in my opinion.
Right after the next one, which I think is the greatest ship on the planet.
Yes,
No,
on
I think
paper
okay.
maybe.
Now let's make it my turn now. I think on
Yes,
paper
yes.
this ship is so great. I think this ship is, I don't know why nobody I mean, no, not nobody plays it, right? I mean, it makes its way into some podex, and I played it in my podec as well. And you're always like, yeah, next turn I'm gonna play it for 2 and it's gonna be great and it's gonna be fun, and then I'm gonna put a free R2 or a PO on there, and then I'm gonna have an X-wing token, and then I'm gonna actually have a 5 plus PO, a 7, I don't know, whatever, for 4 resources if it actually works.
Yeah, if it actually works.
But
That's the
I
big
still
if.
think, I mean, the thing is, I guess you never know what the situation is going to be. If you're gonna pay 2 or 3, and not knowing this sucks, because you don't know, are you gonna be able to put Poe on there actually, because you need to have this one resource open, or you don't know if you need to play the blue leader because you need to ambush something, or I agree. It's tough to play. You really have to trust that the situation is gonna be exactly right to play it. You have to be, I think, slightly ahead if you want to play this. I feel like you have to have like pilots around. If you don't, then playing four for this is not an option, I think.
Oh, it's not, and it's as you said, it's so critical if you think you can play it on turn 2 for 3 resources.
Yeah.
Then something happens to your pilot, and then you have nothing other in hand.
Yeah.
So you always need another 3 cost unit, in my opinion, in hand to be sure that you have something on turn 2. And 3, 4, as you mentioned, it's just not good for
And I
a
think
4 cost
what the
unit.
situation I think summarizes quite well is you have it in hand, you draw it, let's say it's turn whatever, turn the 4 resource turn or 3 resource turn. You draw 2, you draw this, and you have other ships in hand like Blue Leader, like Black One or whatever, or even a red or a red 5 or a red 3. And then you pretty much always put it in the resources because you don't trust the situation. And I think, yeah, of course, you can put it in your deck if you don't have any other option than just play this. But I pretty much always just put it in the resources because it's such a risky play. Yeah.
I
So
don't
I have
even
it at
put it in
highest
my
C though.
decks.
Still, I mean, I still think it's a fun card. I mean, come
That's
on,
biased. I think
come on,
that's the
highest C. What
fanboy
what
at
do
the
we
end
have in
that
C right
talks.
now? The Invisible
We
Hand.
have in C
It's
the Invisible Hand, the
I think
Banshee,
it's better than
Phantom
the
2.
Banshee, better than Phantom, better than Gold Leader, better than Silver Angel. Maybe we can talk about the Invisible Hand.
Yeah, better than Phantom,
What?
but not better than Banshee, in my opinion.
Put it above the Banshee. You said I can decide the next one. I would probably even put it above the Invisible Hand, but I mean, I don't know. No, above the Banshee. Yes, there. Yeah.
Put it up. Yeah. Just relax. I just need my time here. So, that's the one I note on my desk
Yeah,
here
sure.
that I don't agree with. But it's okay to
As a
make Etienne
Raddus.
happy. The Raddus. The Raddus. I don't know. I always thought that it's a great card because, yeah, you have, let's say, you have to get rid of it, even though you don't have a resistance unit uh, on the ground or wherever. You have to get rid of the Raddus because it's 8 damage. It's crazy in my opinion. So he has Sentinel in my opinion, even if he don't has Sentinel. The when defeated effect is also very nice because you can get rid of, let's say, very big units. But somehow it just doesn't work that much. It may be because it don't have a when played effect. Sure, it's nice if you can play it with the hater chip, let's say, because then it's out on turn
Yeah.
4. Yes, for 5 resources. Yeah, but yeah, I really want to like it, but it's just not good in my opinion. And with 7 resources, or let's say, you will rather put a black home 1 in your deck,
Yeah.
the old one. Sure, it costs 8, but if you want to have a big command heroism ship, I think the home one is way better because you have restore, you can put something in play from your resource pile. Yeah, it's just better. So I have it on low C, not the lowest. I have it above
C.
the
I have it
gold
at
leader.
B, and I kind of agree with everything you said. I think it makes its way into some aggressive decks, right? Like, I mean, there's some decks that have, especially the Data Vault ones, that have it in there with Sabine or Poe, because it's that other card. You go up to 5 to Poe, and then 6 Wrecker, and then 7 this if you haven't finished yet, and if the other guy doesn't have an answer, then it's just GG, because as you said, it's an 8/6. You don't care much about the when defeated effect or the Sentinel. Of course, it's nice to have because they have to get rid of it, and then you can defeat something. Um, I don't think it's that bad, but yeah, it's tough to play in, as you like you said. if you really want to play this the mid-rangey decks, then I think prefer a home one, or prefer all the other big ships that are available. So I would agree to put it low B, but C.
Okay, no, yeah, I think
I mean, I would
it's fine.
probably put it below the Ghost, I guess. But I mean, it's not bad, but it's just.
Oh, you can play it, and yeah, as mentioned, I think it's so dangerous if you play it for the enemy, because the 8 damage is just crazy. And yet then you could, let's say, destroy a Vader, Luke with the when defeated effect. Yeah, low B is totally fine.
Except for if Luke defeats that, then you only get to do 2 damage to something. Starhawk. My turn. Where do I have the Starhawk? Yep. I think at mid B as well. Below the Raddus. I don't know. That's gonna be debatable. I think it's a fun ability. You know, the 6/9 ambush for 9 is. I mean, it's expensive. I saw a video the other day. It's like the ambush. I mean, because it's also in that weird Yoda deck, or in more Yoda decks than just the one Data Vault. I think you really want to only hope this. I mean, playing this for 7 is fun, I guess. Playing this for 9, I don't know if you really need a 6/9 ambusher. Of course, you're not playing this for the ambush, you're playing this for the ability. And yes, I mean, it has Sentinel in some way because you need to get rid of it. But I feel like, is it ever going to work? Are you going to have that many cards in hand that you really want to play a Luke or an Obi at the same time? And of course, if you can, then that's a really strong play. I just think it's not playable enough or played enough to really be strong, because I think the opportunities that it presents are quite strong, or are there at least. But for me, it just doesn't get enough play. So I have it at mid B.
I have it at low C. I think the effect can be crazy. But as you mentioned before, yeah, it's just so situational. And sure, if you don't have a Devastator chip or whatever to play it a little bit earlier, you are at 10 resources when you have the effect, if it survives. So yeah, it's just too late, let's say. And that's why I have it below.
Oh, low Raddus. B. Yeah, you said low C.
Or I would put it. Sorry.
Yeah, I have it below Raddus as well, but because I have the Raddus higher. I don't know if is it worse than the Ghost though? I don't know.
Or should we put the Raddus one up? Here. Raddus,
that's how
Starhawk,
I have it,
Ghost.
Great.
I know how to make you happy.
What's next? Oh, that's your.
Oh, Vonreg. As here, probably I'm a little bit biased because I played it in many decks. I played Phasma in the last PQ I went, and it went very well. And I think the Vonreg Interceptor is really nice in a Phasma deck, but it can also be played in other decks, because a 3/4 for 3 resources is, in my opinion, quite nice. And you have many options to buff this unit, even though you don't have to play pilots to get it buffed. With Phasma, it's great. You can play the Phasma unit, just give 2/2. If you have the General Hux on the field, it already has Overwhelm. So I think it's great, and it also saved me a game against Sabine, because I just was able to ECL it out, get rid of I think it was the A-Wing or whatever. He lived. He even made, overwhelm damage one, and it just controlled the space area for me, and then it even looks cool. So for me, it's a B,
I have it at A, but I mean, I agree. I will.
Sorry, I have sorry, mid A.
So I agree with everything.
My bad.
I guess we put it below the Victor Leader. I guess. I mean, a 3/4 for 3 with 2 abilities that can, if you buff it, that's just fun. Yeah, I agree.
Even with all the
Oh.
upgrade hate, I think it's still a good option to play. So,
The
IG
IG
2000.
3444 overwhelm, and when played, you ping 3 different units up to. I think it's a good one. I think maybe the 3444 is kind of annoying. It's not the best stat line. I don't know if you want a three attack dude on 4. But you put that in decks where you really want to, you ping, you have maybe Tarkin Town, you have like all kind of different units that do more ping damage and then control the board this way. So I have it at high B.
Yeah, it's the highest B for me. Sure, it's great with Boba, but I also think you can play it in other decks, especially if you look at the meta and let's say many Vaders at the top. I think it's a great it's a great counter against Vader decks, but still in other decks you still this is a valuable option. Also for let's say for a Bane deck because of the Underworld aspect or Underworld keyword. Yeah, and that's why I put it on the highest B.
Sure, I agree.
Okay, above to
Yeah, I think
Corvus.
it's yeah, I think the decks where IG is strong are stronger than the decks where
Yeah,
Corvus is strong.
yeah.
Yeah,
Devastator.
the Devastator.
Yeah, great card. S tier for me. Playable in so many decks. You have an immediate effect. The effect is crazy. Not only, let's say, in a Boba deck, also in other decks you can put it out. You have an immediate effect. The opponent has to get rid of it because 9 damage is just crazy. I once played against a Boba with sneak attack. It just killed me because it was 13 immediate damage and I just couldn't deal with it with my mace. Yeah, and it looks cool again. So S tier for me, right below the blue leader.
I agree, and I think what makes this card worth it doesn't just work with sneak attack, right?
Yeah.
You're not playing this with the hard control, of course, it's aggression. You're not playing this for the long game, but against Boba, you feel like okay, now I have controlled the board a little bit. I'm starting to stabilize, and then this one comes down. It's just at 8. You're so quickly at 8. It's not. If it would cost 9, I would probably rate it lower because I would think it more or less only works with sneak attack. Not only, but sneak attack would make it that much stronger, which it still does. But you're so often at 8, and then just this comes down and like 4 damage, and it doesn't even have to go to base, right? You can take out multiple units, or you can put 4 on the base, and then you have a 9/6. And if the other guy doesn't have an answer, you just claim and win the game. I think the 8 cost of this ship is so important for this card to be strong. Because you feel like, yeah, now Yoda flipped and now I'm starting to stabilize, and then the Devastator comes down, and then if it gets all worse, the bombardment comes down the next turn if you can't take care of this unit.
As you mentioned, I had it in my sideboard in the Phasma deck just to close the games out. Just to deal, let's say, with a Phasma or another aggression deck, you only need, let's say, 2-3 damage. You put the Devastator out, you have 3 damage that the enemy can't deal with. So it's a great card. So for you, okay if I put it below the blue leader.
Sure. My favorite one. No, it's not my favorite. I mean, it's one of my favorite ones. Black one, my turn, right? I think the black one is great. I mean, to get full value out of it and to like feel maximally good, you have to play this with Poe, I feel like, because the ping is just so strong. But you put a pilot on there, and then it's like a 3/3 plus the pilot, and this for 2 is just great. You can play this, of course, with Luke as well, but in Poe, I have ECL'd this out so often against Vader, kill 2 of his ships, or like slowly ping one of his unit that has like, I don't know, 2 or 3 health. I have it at A tier, just below the Victor Leader. I think it's a great option for so many decks that have pilots and focus on some kind of space. But especially in Poe, this is so strong.
Yeah. And but I think the big downside is the resistance. If it would have the rebellion, sure, I know now that it's resistance and not rebellion, but in any other decks than Luke or Poe, I would rather go with the A-Wing or another Rebel card because you have way much better synergies than with the resistance. And that's why I put it on low A. But I leave it up to you.
I mean, I think it's better than Vonreg. So for now, it goes in between those two, I think.
Yeah.
I agree. It's always the question: do you put Fleet Lieutenant in there if you really want to play Black One in the first round? And with Poe, I think Black One is the best 1-drop or 2-drop in the game. But I never went with Fleet Lieutenant. I think you can because you still have the A-Wings in there. You have so many Rebel ships still in there. But it's not the best situation, but it's a great ship. Talking about Rebels.
Oh, now the Red 5, one of my favorite ships because I think you can use it in many decks. It has Rebels, it's a 3/4, and the on attack effect is, in my opinion, just great. Not only if you're a mace player and deal damage everywhere, you have to get rid of the Red 5, otherwise it just kills, in my opinion, everything, because so often you have situations that there are damaged units and it's just a free kill. 3 damage. Even if you don't have the trigger for the on attack, 3 damage is still great. 4 health for a 3-cost chip is always also great. And that's why I have it on the highest A tier. Above the...
I agree. I have it at the highest A because I want the picture to make sense.
That's a good.
I think what's also so crazy, and we talked about this at the store the other day, compared to the Red 3, right? And of course, all the other heroism ships get a Raid 1, but you pay 3 and you get a 2/3. Of course, it has Raid 1 as well, so it's a 3/3. You know that 4 health, that extra health, it's so valuable. And like 3/4 for 3, and then the on attack ability is just it's crazy. I like it so much. I agree.
Yeah. Right. That was a quick one.
Yeah.
Here you go.
I don't know, Profundity. I think I played once against this. And yes, it was kind of annoying to discard, but only because he discarded me so many times before with like K2 and whatnot. I don't know. I don't see the situation where you want to play 9 or even 7 with the hate that ship. I mean, 8, 9 is not bad. Yes, I agree. Overwhelm is not bad either. But like, I want to play 9 and I want you to discard 1. It's just like, is that ever gonna happen? Or maybe 2 cards, of course. Yes. I have it at low C, above the gold leader. Actually, I think it's better. I think it's better than the gold leader. I mean, if you put that down, you have something on the board that's threatening, right? But I think it's always the same question. If you really want to play 9 for this card with no immediate effect, you're probably already winning the game, and you can play probably gold leader as well, and you're winning the game. So I don't know.
And if you compare it, let's say, I know that it's a strange comparison to the Devastator, the one that we talked about. The Devastator is 8, costs 8, it has 9 damage, has a way better when played effect. And if you are at 9 resources, I think you play against a control deck, or you may play against a control deck. And if the control player is a villainy player, he has so many cards in his hand, in my opinion, at turn 8 or 9 or later, that really doesn't make any sense with the discard effect.
No, maybe.
Yeah.
And I think that the thing also is, the Devastator has only 6 health, and maybe that's his weakness. But 9 health doesn't do, at 9 resources, it's like, I most of the time don't really care if it has 12 or 13 or 27 health or 5. If he has a card to get rid of it, he has a card to get rid of it. He's not gonna put units in this to get rid of it, probably. So, yeah.
Exactly. So, for me, the second one, because we put the Executor, on the D tier list, I think it's not playable. I wanted it to have or I played it in Throne, or I tried to play it in Throne, but as mentioned before, with 6 cost for 4/7 unit with such a strange effect, you want to play a Ruthless Raider or whatever at 6. Even in Throne decks, it makes no sense or has no value, so it's for me a clear D below.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like you said, it would probably make sense in Throne, but it doesn't make sense in Throne either. It doesn't have a when defeated effect by itself. It's just a Throne on more, I don't know, LSD or whatever. But you don't want this for 6. You want, like you said, you want a Ruthless or a Chimaera. Yeah, agreed.
Agreed.
Hey, we talked about
Yes.
we talked about this the other day as
Rampart.
well at the store, and it's just like, there are ships that are 3/3s for 2, and now getting this, and you have to like do something for it to ready. It's like, what? I mean, for me to have this unit to make sense, I mean, it would probably be at least to have be a 4/4. You have a 4/4 that doesn't ready. You pay 2 for this, and then you have to do some kind of extra shenanigans for it to actually ready. That would make sense, and I see some kind of room for that unit. But here it's just like, what? I just play a 3/3 that readies. Why would I? And yes, of course, there's not that many 3/3s for two resources. But still, there's units that do 3 damage for 2 resources. So yeah, and we talked about also that Rio, and I learned that it's Rio's chip. I think his name is Rio, and it doesn't make sense with him either, because you can like give +1 for the attack, but this is not ready, and it doesn't ready because it didn't attack, and it has to have like 4 power at the regroup phase. It's just, of course, if you put Rio as a pilot on it, then it finally readies, but then you're at like 5 resources, I think. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense for me.
Yeah, for me as well. It maybe would have worked if it would have been a heroism ship, in my opinion.
Maybe.
But for villainy, it really makes no sense, because let's say for heroism, you can put the new R2 on it, so you have something. And also with the, oh man, come on, the leader.
His leader, which leader?
No, the one that makes the abilities gone away.
No, yeah.
Yeah, Kasuda, come on, oh man. Yeah, maybe then, but for villainy, absolutely no sense in my opinion.
So did you put it at the lowest T?
Hound?
Yeah.
I put it at the lowest here. Yeah. Hound's Tooth. I think it's an okay-ish ship. I know that you like it more than I do, because I still think it's so fragile, because only of the 3 HP you can destroy it with many 2-drop ships. But if it's on the ground or in the space arena, you have to get rid of it, because you have to be aware of its ability, and its ability can be a pain in the ass. So I think it's a mid-C in my opinion. And I haven't seen it in so many decks, perhaps in Bane, in some Bane decks. But other than that, I haven't seen it that much, so it's for me
I would put it
mid-C.
higher. I think a 4-3-4-3 is not bad, and you, like you said, you have to be aware of his ability. If not, it's just going to destroy all your ships for free. I think it's not bad. I think, of course, yeah, it has 3 health and it dies a lot against 2 drops. But it doesn't cost 4, right? If your 3 drop dies, I mean, maybe you're not going to play it if the other guy has a A-wing out, or you feel bad if the other guy has an A-wing out. And then you play this, maybe if it's your only option, of course. I think it's a B tier. I think it's playable. I think it's good. I think the 4 damage is crazy because there's not enough. You know, the red 5 doesn't do 4, Vonreg doesn't do 4. They all don't do 4. I think it's a B.
Yeah,
I can agree.
yeah, I
I
think
can
I can
agree. Yeah,
agree.
to put it. I would either put it above or below the Ghost, actually. Yeah.
Above. Yeah, I think
Yes,
I can agree
convinced.
with that.
I think you're
Sure.
gonna disagree more with
Here you
that one,
go.
I guess. Oh no, you see value in drawing cards. So 3-4-4-3, so the opposite stat line. And then on attack, if you play the bounty hunter or pilot card, you draw a card. I have this at B as well, just above the Houndstooth, but I guess I can agree to put it below as well. I think the annoying thing with this is you
Ha-
have to like sequence it annoyingly, right? You have to like play the card first and then attack. Maybe that works quite easily. I don't know. I haven't played it that much so far. But I think a 3-4-4-3 and then every now and then you draw a card is fine. So low B for me.
I think it's a high C for me. And just because what you mentioned, you always have to play a card first, and then you will have to attack, and then you can draw a card. I agree with you that drawing cards, in my opinion, or I learned that it's so important to have a lot of cards in your hand because it really can win you the games. But for this, it's so situational. You have to wait until you played a bounty or a pilot card, and then you may have the Maya draw a card. So for me, it takes too
Yeah, I
long to
guess.
get the effect. That's why I put it on high
Okay, I
C.
can agree to put it at the highest so far with these cards. I think it's
The
better than
highest.
the
Okay.
Invisible Hand.
Better as the. And now the Invincible that you already have mentioned. Again, you can play it with Dooku, in my opinion, because yeah, it's a 6-drop ship. 6/6 is quite nice, but the effect is not so good. Sure, if you have a separatist card, it costs 1 less. So it's really only a card for Dooku. And when you deploy a leader effect, it can be nice if you play against an enemy who has, let's say, a two cost
Yeah.
chip with a pilot on it. So it really sucks. But right then at 6 resources or even 5 resources, it may be too late because if he has already attacked twice or 3 times with a ship with a pilot on it, it's most likely already you are in a really difficult situation. So I have it at the low mid C, actually, and also I think, as mentioned before with the other ship, it
Yeah.
suffered a lot from the triple dark raid ban.
I agree. I have it at a little bit higher C, I guess. The one play that I liked is, you play this for 1 less because it's a capital ship with Piet, and then, you play it for 5, you deploy Piet, and then you can bounce something, which is not that bad. But I think other than that, I think the bouncing effect is difficult because you always have to, like, what kind of leader do I have? Is he going to deploy at 5 or 6 or whatever? Everything that deploys at 5 is just annoying. Of course, you can play it also for 5 if you have a unique separatist card out, like we said. But I have it at high C. I would probably in this, I would probably put him below the red leader, above the Banshee.
Below the red leader, above the band. It's okay because I know how much you like the red leader on paper.
Fireball.
Ooh, the
Yeah, I think
fireball.
for me that's an S tier, the third S tier. 3/3 ambush for 2, and of course with the Kasuda it's not gonna die at the end of the round. But you can also put it in other decks as well. I mean, it's gonna survive some turns if you play it without the ambush, just 3/3 on turn 1. Of course, most of the time, if you play it outside of Kasuda and you use the ambush, it's probably gonna die this turn or next turn. But yeah, not against the
Not
A-Wing.
against the A-Wing, yeah.
But I
Then the
mean,
next
everything
turn.
has to
Yeah.
be right for this situation. But it's a 3/3 ambush for 2. That's just crazy. And you can put it in there just to hate Vader decks, right? To just like, I'm gonna just kill your first ship, no matter which ship it is, and probably live for another round. Maybe live for another round, maybe not. And then you also have the Kasuda deck where it's even better. So I have it at the lowest S tier for now.
Yes, me as well. And not only for the Kasuda decks, it can also be very nice with the
Oh yeah.
Boba keyword leader. Because you have the ambush keyword, it's then it's even a
Of
4/3.
Victor.
You can get rid of the Victor leader. Yeah, it's in my opinion, it's just a great card. You can put it in many decks, and that's why lowest S tier is fine for me.
Nice.
Shuttle Tydirium. Where did we put it the
You
last
don't
time?
like it.
I think it's a mid-C at the highest. Sure, it's a rebel ship, 2/4. It's okay-ish, but the on attack is strange. Sure, you can put it in the Never Tell Me the Auton. There it may be nice because you always have an outcost, or most likely have an outcost. But other than that, I don't see much many situations that makes very much sense to play the cunning aspect 3 space
I
ship.
agree. What did you say? Low or mid C? Yeah, I agree.
Low C. Below
I
the
agree. Yeah,
Phantom, I would say.
yeah. I think it's a Han card, right? It goes into Han deck.
Yep.
Anything else is difficult. I mean, it survives. I mean, you can probably make some decks where you only have, or pretty much only have outcasts, but you want the synergy, so you want Han. I agree. So the new home one, I think this is a tough one because they hate that chip, and if they have a ship out and you play they hate that chip, you can play this for 4, I think, and it ambushes one of those ties, and then it's not that bad. But it's not gonna happen so much, right? They need to just have one space unit out actually, and you need to have both cards in hand. But other than this play, if this play wouldn't be out there, I think it would be much worse because 7/8 ambush for 9. Again, it's like, do you really want to go this far with heroism, even cunning? I mean, do you want to go to 9? I think you want to cheat this out. And if you don't cheat this out, something is, I think the deck is not going to be that strong because that's most of the time not what you want to do, especially in the meta right now I guess. So I have it at B still, but probably only because they hate that chip is there.
I have it in mid C because what you mentioned, I think 9 is way too late. You don't even get rid, let's say, of an Avenger with the ambush if you play it at 9.
No.
So it's just 7/8 for 9. It's not enough. As you mentioned, you have to cheat this out. But yeah, I would rather put other cards in my cunning heroism deck than the home one, even though I first liked it on paper because I thought, yeah, this may be interesting. But yeah, you don't have 3 or more space units in the arena if you don't play the Hater chip. So for me, it's mid C. I would even rank it below the Raddus right now because you convinced me so much about the Raddus.
So mid B, you say?
Oh, Sorry,
I
I
mean,
have.
I mean the Raddus is B, right?
Yeah. No, no. I sorry. Yes, I would put it below the Invincible Hand.
What? Well, if we put it C, I would put it highest C. I mean, it's still the home one.
Yeah, but that's not an argument. Yeah,
I
but
guess so.
we can put it. Oh, low B.
Sure,
Uh,
I agree. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's my turn.
I don't think it's your turn.
Okay, then go.
Razor, I like it somehow. I like it in, let's say, a Mandalorian deck because you can activate it twice, let's say. But even in the Mandalorian deck I played against you, I really was a bit or was unsure if I should play the Razor Crest or the what's wrong today? The green ship for 4 Sentinel 2/6.
Oh,
No,
Bright Hope.
the Bright Hope, because I think you have the better effect with the Bright Hope because it's a Sentinel, it has 6 HP, you can control the space arena. Sure, the Razor Crest is way more aggressive if you play it right in a Mandalorian deck. And I think you can also play it in other cunning decks. It's nice, it's fun, it looks cool, but I wouldn't rate it higher than low B.
I have it at A because in this pilot conning shell it can be so strong. You want to. I mean, you're kind of aggressive. You want to bounce and tap stuff. You can put Mando on there, and then the effect is just crazy. And of course, yes, the board state has to be right in order to like bounce something. But I think for 4, a 3/5, and then you have pilot. You want to put the pilot. I mean, you have to have the pilot shell, right? You want to put pilot somewhere, and if even if you put a Han on there, you attack immediately and you bounce something. I think it's good. But I can agree to put it in B, but not low B.
But where
I
would
mean,
you
it's
rank it in?
probably better. I think it's better than the Corvus. I think it goes into more decks than the Corvus. I think it's better than the Annihilator. I mean, better what? I mean, better. It's always difficult to say, right?
It's so situational, and sure, 5 health is nice for 4, but the 3 drop is, and you still have to think about it that when you play the Razor Crest, you don't have an immediate
Yeah, but that's on
effect.
4 is not that bad. But I agree. I mean,
Yeah,
you have to
but
have a two drop unit, or the opponent has to have a 2-drop unit or a 4-drop, and then you have. I mean, I agree, but where would you put it? I think it's better than the Raddus, maybe not the Chimaera. Let's put it there.
yeah,
Okay, maybe not as strong as the
I
Corvus, I
think
guess.
I don't know, but I
Sure.
think I would, yeah, I think the Corvus 4/5 with a restore
Okay,
2,
sure.
it's nice.
Radiant
Here,
7.
so
I wanted to like this card in the beginning. I think the effect was kind of strong. But I don't know if it's the meta or I don't know. It's just so easy to dodge, right? You pay 7, you get a 5/6. You're not that scared of a 5 attack unit. You're just like, yeah, sure, of course. Maybe it only needs to attack twice, but it still needs to attack twice in order to win the game, maybe. Um, but the thing that's more annoying is the when played effect. The 5 indirect damage, of course. If the opponent puts it on the base, it's 5 damage on the base, which is not bad. But they can also just like kill one unit and give maybe 1 or 2 indirect to a second unit, and then the effect doesn't do anything. They can give it to their leader. The other day I had a game with Yoda, and I put all the 5 on Yoda, and it's not affected by this ability. And then they have a 5/6 that basically did not do anything because Yoda still has 4 health. And a 5/6 for 7, and it's still my entire turn. And it's just like, meh. I liked the ability on paper. I was excited about it, but it's just
Me
not.
too.
The opponent can just decide too much in order for it to like be not as strong. So have it at C, mid C.
I can fully agree with everything you said. I tried it with Mace because I thought, oh, it's cool because you have a lot of damage everywhere right before the Mace flip. And then it's a good card, but even there, it's as you said, it's just it would be cool if you would be able to
Yeah,
put the 5 damage where you want it, but because it's indirect,
yeah.
it's meh. So I agree.
I have it below the Phantom. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
the
I would even rank
okay,
it
sure,
below the shuttle.
sure.
Fett's Firespray. It looks cool. It has a nice, when played effect, it is so crazy strong if you play Boba, the new Boba, because the two indirect damage is hard. I think the only downside you have is that it only has 4 health, because right like that you can get rid of it with an open fire, let's say, or whatever, with a 3-cost card. But other than that, I think it's fun even if you play it in other decks than Boba. That's why I ranked it at the low A tier, but right below, above the Vonreg.
Yeah, I agree. I think one more downside is, it goes pretty much into the Boba deck. You can play it in other decks as well, but the one ping damage is not as strong as the two ping damage, and then you tap Boba, and then you even have three indirect. It's not ping, indirect damage. But I mean, you can play it in other decks. I don't think you're going to play it in many other decks than Boba. But I think in the Boba deck, it's a fun card. It's annoying, on it. It's not only when played, but also on attack. So every time it attacks, it's pretty much 3 indirect damage. But another downside, like you said, it's 4/4/4/4. You get rid of it quite easily. But I still have it in A. It's a Fett's Firespray. Where did you say? Yeah, I will put it there as well.
Yeah, great.
The Shuttle ST.
Shuttle
Yeah, that's a
ST-149.
tough one. I think it's very situational. I think the cool thing about it is you decide where you want to put a shield. If you can steal the shield or any token upgrade from the opponent, that's even better. But you can give his shield to your leader or to a sentinel or to whatever. I think that's quite good. I think 3/4/4/4 is not the best stat line, but I think it goes into decks where you're not looking that much for the crazy stat lines anyway. I think it goes into more controller decks. I have it at B. I think the shield. It's the shield thing, the stealing of token upgrades and moving shields from itself to another unit. That makes it interesting. That makes it that maybe an important unit of yours survives, or you steal a shield from the village protectors or whatever, and that feels annoying, and that's a strong move, I think. So I have it at B.
Yeah, and the great thing, in my opinion, is also in villainy decks, if you play Greenwich, you can play it at 3 resources because of the when defeated effect, and you can put 2 shields on Greenwich. What's just a pain, but also what you said is, I really like it to play it even later when your leader is out, just to put a shield on it, let's say with Asajj or whatever. I think it's a really valuable card, and that's why I put it right below the IG,
Where's the IG? Above the Corvus. Okay.
the
I would
highest B.
put it
Yeah,
below the Corvus, but I'll let you decide because I think you played those cards more than I did.
I can agree. Below,
Yeah.
I defended the Corvus the whole video, so I have to put it below it. Oh, You can start because it's
I
a
like this
Millennium
one.
Falcon.
I like this one a lot. I think it's you can play this 3-4 for 3 without the ability and it's fine. Of course, it's not going to win you the game just by itself, but putting pilots on it, of course, you want to play this in a more aggressive deck. You have to be aware of all the removal spells from the opponent because you don't want to have just one big unit out and the other guy is just Power of the Dark siding it. But I think a 3-4 for 3 and then +1/+0 for each pilot, and then you can put one more pilot on there is great. If you like know the other guy doesn't have waylays or Power of the Dark sides, and then you put 3 pilots on there with R2, it's just, and they cannot get rid of it, then it's just GG on turn like 4.
Would you say it's the best Millennium Falcon right now? Or would you rank the old
I would
one
still
higher than
rank
this
the old
one?
one higher than this one, I think. I think it's just, you really have to know when you want to play this and when you want to make it big. Playing it is fine, it's a 3-4 for 3, that's fine. And if it survives and then you have a free R2 in there, you put the R2 on there because that's, it's a piece of cake. But if you want to make it big, then you need to be sure that the other guy is not like waylaying it or whatever. And
Or you
or
just put
you
a
put a
Chewy
Chewy on there,
on
yeah,
it?
of course.
Yeah.
Then you just need to be aware of the no glory only results. But I think the old one is still better, like being ready. And like now, I think even with pilots now, it gained a lot because you put it in play ready. You maybe put a pilot leader on there, like a Kasuda or whatever. You still have like 1 or 2 resources to put another pilot on there, and then you attack immediately for like 5-6 or something. I think the old one is still better, but I have this at A between the black one. I think it's lower than the
Yeah.
black one, but higher than the Firespray because it goes into
Yeah.
more decks.
Yeah. That's completely fine for me, and I would not dare to say something against it because you like the
Thank you.
Millennium Falcon so much. So I
Yeah,
think we have
one
2
good one and
left.
one not so good one.
Yes, one good one, and I think you think that's a good one, and I know that I would rank it lower than you will probably, because I think it's only good if you can ECL it out. Other than that, it's just 3/3 is really not good. It can be destroyed with a lot of 2-drops units. So you really have to make sure that it will survive, that you have the on attack trigger, that you have something on the field. But other than that, if you just play it regularly without a timely, and even with a timely, I think it's way too expensive. But if you play it without a timely or ECL, I think it's good. I think the enemy has to get rid of it because of all the on attack triggers that can be really annoying. But I would rank it high A, but not higher than that.
I kind of agree. I think in the beginning I liked it better than now. I think yes. I think ECL is important for this card. Just putting it down feels not bad, but it's not the same because you want to really control the attack of it because, like you said, the opponent gets rid of it quite easily. But it goes into decks where you put pressure on from the beginning, and this just adds to the pressure, right? If you play like even an A-wing or whatever, you put two space units on there, or like the Phoenix A-wing is probably better because you pretty much want a red unit out there for the experience. And I think it's important to have initiative. I think this card loses a lot if you don't have an initiative and you don't have ECL. But it's still a great card, right? It's still like they still have to get rid of it. And in so many aggressive decks, you just want to play cards where they have to get rid of it. And yes, of course, in many matchups, they just want to get rid of everything. I still have it S tier. I still like it so much. I still think it goes into many different decks. And yes, they probably mostly run ECL because it's such an amazing ECL target. But maybe I can agree to put it in A. I think it lost a little bit. I think it's not in that many decks anymore like it used to be. I don't know. Highest A, maybe it's not better than the Red 5. Maybe it's a tough one. Yeah.
For me, I would rank it right below the Victor or even
no,
the black
I can
one.
agree. I can agree with
because as mentioned before, you put a Sabine's Masterpiece on it. I have another 3-cost chip unit like Red 5 or even a Vonreg TIE Interceptor. I play it, easy laid out even. They still live, the Sabine's Masterpiece is gone. And even if I don't ECL it out, you have to claim initiative, in my opinion, that you have one attack with Sabine's Masterpiece. That's why I would rank it.
I can agree with between Black One. I think Black One is indeed better. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I can agree with that. I think it.
That's changed to the last videos. I think last time you really wanted it to be.
In the first video we put it both S tier. I think it was. I think it was better.
But that's 3 weeks gone. So many things happened.
So last one. Is it your turn or my turn?
You go.
Yeah, the Tantive IV is a difficult one. I think it's 5/7 Sentinel. I'm not a big fan of the. I like it in limited, in draft and sealed. I'm not a big fan of like hoping that a Sentinel in space would like save you on 7 resources. I would much rather have like a Bright Hope for 4, which does pretty much the same, like hold off 1 attack, 1 or 2 attacks, and then I can play something else as well. Or like a shielded village protector, that shield is so valuable because of course they can all be removed in a different way. But I don't know why you would play a 7-drop 5/7 Sentinel in Premier and like, oh, now I'm safe in space and I even get an X-Wing token. I would much rather prefer like being at the 6 cost and not get an X-Wing token. Like kind of an OB, where it's just like, for 6, I'm still kind of trying to stabilize, and they are playing like, I don't know, they're playing Vader or whatever, and they're focusing on space, and then I have a 5/7 Sentinel. That feels kind of fine for 6. But other than that, I
agree. And I don't think you played it once in your Yoda decks. No, you have, let's say, for 7 resources, you have Luke, and then you want to stabilize with the redemption on 8, perhaps, or even earlier with the
the redemption does the same thing, right? The redemption is pretty much there to heal, of course, and then to like hold off 1 attack, right? You don't, most of the time, maybe sometimes 2 if they're really playing Vader, but you want to heal, and this one doesn't do the healing, right? It's just like, I'm a Sentinel, I attack for 5, which is not that bad and not that great either. I have it at C, at mid C.
I have it at mid-low C.
Is it better than the Phantom?
Actually, above the red.
Yeah, sure.
I would rank it above the Radiant.
Now I'm thinking, I don't know if it's even better than the Radiant. But yeah, let's put it in between there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I guess that looks alright.
That's our tier list.
I like S and A, B.
For me as well. Yeah. And in the last video, my only complaint was the Sabine's Masterpiece, because we put it on the lowest S tier. But right now, Etienne agreed to put it on A, so I'm okay-ish with the list. I think the red leader still should be a little bit lower, but other than that, I agree with you,
because it doesn't make its way into all the podex anymore. Even that's a sign, right? It's not in all the Sabine decks either. So yeah, I think it's a fun list.
Yeah, me too. I think it's something different. A little
I
bit
mean,
late, perhaps.
we tried to
That's
make it
really-
earlier, but it
it's
just
okay.
didn't work. So now we can start playing games again. We still should start the new series.
Yes, and I still have some boosters here from the last
nice.
PQ.
Still not opened.
Still didn't open
next week.
No.
All right. Let us know what you think about our list in the comments.
Oh man, so stupid.
That's all right. And thank you for watching.
Yes, see you next week, we hope,
Yeah.
if we don't have any technical issues.
I think it should be fine now.
I think as well, because you know the super fancy IT tech.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Hey, take
See you
care.
around.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.